a game between the two best sides in terms of skill and technique. We have this revenge factor, which just adds a little more to it.
Robbie, the more I hear, the more words I hear around the stadium, the more money is on Ghana tonight. How right are they going to be in that one?
Well, there's certainly one thing that's clear, Les. The Sydney fans have adopted both sides, and the atmosphere for those viewers that aren't here is absolutely electric. The teams are entering the park, and I think whoever, you know, settles down the quickest will really get this game going. It's an incredible atmosphere. You thought it was good for Australia. Well, it's absolutely amazing here now. And I think that the Ghanaians are favourites. A lot of people have picked them for various reasons, but no, I can never discount the Brazilians in any game. And I think only time will tell, really, and I don't want to sort of predict at this stage.
Brazil like to come out, Les, very early and pressure. That will give us a good indication the first 20 minutes.
All right, John, Robbie, thank you. Let's go to the national anthems, and then our commentator, Jerry Harris.
We've had pogo sticks and moon hoppers. Then there were hula hoops, and who could forget yo-yos? Now McDonald's presents the newest, greatest fun around. Sports balls. Everyone's catching on to these small, squishy balls of fun. There's a cricket ball, a basketball, a football, and a soccer ball. Collect a different one each week for 95 cents each with any burger or muffin purchase. Hurry to McDonald's, because they won't be round for long.
McDonald's, it's snack time.
The trouble with most toasted mueslis is they're heavy in fat. Kellogg's Just Right, however, has far less fat than toasted muesli, yet its wholesome blend of whole wheat flakes, rye, juicy sultanas, honey, oats and the goodness of bran gives you a truly satisfying taste without that sinking feeling. Not too heavy, not too light. It's just right from Kellogg's.
Daihatsu Charade, Australia's #1 selling imported car for the last 3 years, is being run out to make way for the new model. So right now, your Daihatsu dealer is offering outstanding deals. The Daihatsu Charade factory run out. Run in before they all run out.
In Australia for the Cup, send your parents something that reminds them of you. Your telephone bill. Call Home Collect on Country Direct.
Okay, let's have a check now on the lineups, starting with Brazil, the world's leaders at this level. They have, like Ghana, developed and improved as the tournament progressed, conceding only 1 goal in 6 qualifiers and 5 matches here, and they all like to attack. True to Brazilian tradition, number 10 is always a key player, and Adriano is also the leading scorer. Number 5, Marcelinho, number 11, Jan are the players to catch the eye. Ghana's first-choice team took shape only after the latecomers Asari and Okonor joined after European club and international duties. There's one change here from the semi-final side. Number 3, Kofi Nimo, comes in for Asari. It's a tactical change built on Brazilian principles and German thoroughness. 7 with European clubs, 4 in the Barcelona Olympics. And away we go. The referee is from Turkey, Ahmed Çakar. It's Brazil in their traditional yellow and blue, Ghana in their change strip of white. This is the final of the 7th World Youth Championship for the FIFA Coca-Cola Cup. Ahmed Çakar, a doctor who's 30 years of age, the youngest official of the 15 here. He's a microbiologist, only the best in this marvelous occasion. Brazil versus Ghana, by common agreement, the 2 best sides of the 16 who started here in the first place. The first under-20 attempt for Ghana. For Brazil, the outstanding nation at this level, their 4th final, and they're looking for their 3rd win. Both sides capable of attacking, exciting football, and made up of players of highly individual skill. And it started at frantic pace, and there's a free kick. On paper, this is the perfect finale on a sultry, wet, early autumn night here in Australia. But these occasions don't always go according to script, although that one goes to script there according to the defence. Expectation here, sometimes dominated by nerves and wariness. The first 20 minutes on a pitch that has taken rain and has a little bit of zip on the surface will be very important. So we have Asari wearing 5 on that left-hand flank for Ghana. Such a talented player and one of their 3 full internationals. Here's Nimo, the number 3, a slight figure brought in instead of the other Asari, Emmanuel, who was given a bit of a runaround by England in the last one. Here's Adriano, stocky, chunky, good right foot, big driver. Kate on the right-hand side, play on. And no, a yellow card. Banini with a yellow card within the first few seconds of this game. A driving run by Adriano and a late challenge. As a lot of experts felt, this Ghana side can be run at. England perhaps proved it in the second half, but Banini proved that he's perhaps, although the oldest player in this side, is suffering from a little nervous tension here. That was a late challenge. Every Ghanaian player coming back to help goalkeeper Ben O. Now, is this Gian with the left foot, or is it Adriano? It's usually Adriano. Adriano drives, it's a good one, and the stinging drive into the arms of the goalkeeper comes up, no problems. Referee from Turkey, linesman from Finland and China. Tackle there on Ahimfo. In goes Pereira. Kate is wide on the right. Pereira knocking it wide to Bruno, challenging hard there. And Brazil, as we see already, attack in groups. They defend in packs. And they're putting the squeeze on a little bit. Dua playing on the right-hand side. Addo, the 16-year-old, trying to find Nimo. Good ball, but nicely closed down by Hermes, who's playing in place once again of the injured Wagner. This is Kofi Nimo, 15 Hermes. Chunky midfield player, really, not an orthodox fullback, but like a lot of these Brazilians, fitting into a pattern is not too difficult for them. They can play anywhere. Bruno, scorer of a couple of goals. Pereira, who picked up a red card in the first game. Kate, who has more top-class experience than probably any of the Brazilians. Plays for the leading Brazilian club, Sao Paulo, and was a substitute in the recent Toyota Cup final in Tokyo. Great pace. Big distance here for the free kick, but a Brazilian is capable of the extraordinary and the illogical. Now here's a chip forward into the hole. It's well cut out by Kuffour. Looked like a foul there on Jan, but the referee says play on. And it's noticeable that Ghana are stuttering a little bit. The initiative quickly taken by Brazil. Hermes. It's a foul there by Kofi Nimo. A look of innocence. But to me, as if he got the ball, but the referee didn't think so, and that's what counts. 18-year-old Nimo penalised, but away come Ghana, but not for long. Lamptey, of all people, their most experienced Anderlecht international, couldn't keep hold of it. Gian to Kate. Kate's got pace, but he's also got two players against him. Asare and Gago. Ahinful does well to get to it, but it's a few Brazilians working against them. They refuse to panic. This is a perfect pitch for passing after a fairly heavy shower in the third-fourth playoff that we had before this finale. It's not a particularly good one. Adriano can't get it. Ahinful knocks it back, gets a return. Nimo. Adol gets it down the line. And no trouble there as Ahinful lets it disappear. So far, he'll be working on his own. Behind him, he'll have Lamptey. Wide, he'll have Akonor, the number 13. And Duar, the number 11 on the right. Well up by Kuffour. And again by Jan. Gian to Jan. Gian down the line. No trouble for Nimo. He set himself up for that one. That'll give him a little bit of encouragement because it's his first starting game in these championships, replacing the fullback Emmanuel Asare. Hermes gets it. Chunky little player, good in control, good balance. Throw in for Brazil. Gian turning here. Nimo does well, but he gives it away in the end when really he was so desperate to play football. He should perhaps have whacked it, and now Hermes can get a good ball in. No, a little off balance as he struck it. Good interception by Marcelino. Good play. Attempt of a 1-2 between Adriano and Gian. It didn't work. They can't get it clear, Ghana. Hermes. That's a good challenge. But again, they win it back for the moment. Tight bit of play there by Juarez, but out it went for a throw to Ghana. They've got to take stock. They've got to hold possession at the back, knock it around a little bit, and take a breather. These two sides, of course, met in a classic encounter in the Under-17 World Championship in Italy 2 years ago. 6 of this side were playing, and 3 of the Brazilians were playing. Ghana won by 2-1. But this is a different era, and Brazil say they're a much stronger side. Ahinful with Akonor gone into the middle. It's a good clearance by Hermes, picked up by Adriano through to Gian. Adriano coming again. Gian going for this one. Gian forcing his way through. Good defensive play. He could have tackled too early and could have brought him down, but he held his position well, and they've got that one away well too. Ghana getting into their rhythm. Looking good here. Lamptey showing some quality. They need a little bit of inspiration from Neil Lamptey, their captain. Oni to Akonor. Akonor now wide on that left-hand side. That is Ahinful who goes through the middle. Gago. Now Lamptey. Out there to Nimo. Well, Brazilians like to shoot, but the Ghanaians love to shoot on any occasion. But that won't trouble the two brothers, the coaches of Brazil, Julio Cesar Leal Jr. and his brother Jero. And it certainly didn't trouble the big goalkeeper Dida, who has such a marvelous defensive record over the last 18 months. Time for Brazil to bring it down. Hermes keeping his place. Wagner tore a hamstring. Hermes has done well, and that's a run down the right-hand side by Adriano. Adriano coming in on the loose clearance. Just about got it away. Acrobatic stuff, but dangerous. Now Nemo to Ahinful. Gets through the challenge by Jan. Dua does well, but two tackles evaded. The third, they got them. And Brazil, as we know, can defend. And they were tight there. There was no space for Augustine Ahinful, who is, of course, the leading scorer of Ghana. There are 5 players in this championship at the moment on 3 goals. 2 of them are playing here. So a lively first 10 minutes here in the Sydney Football Stadium. No score. Bruno, who got a couple of goals from set pieces in the earlier rounds. But so far we haven't seen him up in an attacking role, and that's not surprising. Most of the squeezes by the Brazilians have been down the left-hand flank. Now it's Ghana getting into their stride. It's Daniel Addo playing it safe to Asare. Asare under pressure. What a contest this is going to be between Kate and Asare. And Asare certainly won that little battle. To Sike Akono. Up goes Ahinful, and there's a great goal by Dua. Dua with the header. What a goal by Ghana. Brilliant stuff. Emmanuel Dua coming in behind Ahinful. That was superb. Lovely ball down the left-hand side. A great cross by Akono. Ahinful couldn't get it, but Dua could. And the goalkeeper concedes his second goal of the championship, the first in open play. Asare to Ahinful. What a wonderful goal. Dua, a brilliant header. 16 years of age, this goal scorer. One of the 3 players who plays for the Italian club Torino. And suddenly, the Africans are in the lead. 12 minutes gone. Breathtaking. 1-0, and an extraordinary turnaround after Brazil had taken the game to Ghana. And this stadium here, packed, 43,000, is in uproar. Now, can the Brazilians come back from that? They're not used to being behind. This is not in the script as far as their preparation is concerned. Good interchanging. It was a brilliant bit of play by Asare down the left-hand side that set it up. Across from the left-hand side by Ahinful, and Fred Osam-Duodu, who notes so many things during the course of the game, notes the fact that his side are in the lead in this 7th World Youth Championship final. Juarez under a little bit of pressure. Gets it away, but it'll be a throw, obviously, for Ghana. Is there a touch of anxiety in the Brazilians after they seemed to control the first 10 minutes? Is Nemo. Back to Addo. Daniel Addo plays in Germany. He's got a 5-year contract, playing mostly in the reserve side and youth side of Leverkusen, but he's been something of a giant here. And although they've been battling to get into midfield, they had that one classic break down the left-hand side, and they find themselves in the lead. Here comes Lamptey bursting away from his man, stumbles. Stabbed in by Akonor. Look at this by Gago. Oh, they're getting a little bit more confidence there now. Well, they might. Addo trying to go through a pack of yellow shirts. Well, it's a good ball, but he'll do well to get hold of it. Not quite as accurate as they started. So, like good boxers, the Ghanaians took a few punches early on, then took a breather and came back with an uppercut. And it's 1-0. Good challenge by Gelson. Strong defender coming forward. And a fine tackle by Asare. He's already doubled back to cover that right flank. Kate does well, but he's again stopped by Asare, who's always got a bit of help. There's some good attacking, but there's some cracking defending here. There's a few prizes to be won from this match. The big one, of course, the main trophy. But there's also the goal scorer of the tournament. There's also the player of the tournament. Obviously, I would have thought it's going to come from one of these two teams. But which one? Offside, the flag is up. Akonor, who received a fax just before the game from his uncle in England, which said if he scored in this game, he would get an expenses-paid trip to England. It's not as good as it sounds because he actually lives in Germany. But there you go. It's a nice gesture by Uncle Freddie. Jan dropping back to try and get into it. Gian now running up the defence. And Kate might have a go here. Well, he snatched at it a little bit. He would have really had to get right behind that to test the goalkeeper. It zipped across the surface. And Akonor seems to be carrying a little bit of a knockover on that left-hand side. We'll see how he progresses. He's in possession here when he really probably didn't want it. We've got another knock there as Kate gets away. Not for very far, though. Adriano into Jan. Nice little touch to Marcelino, who so far hasn't quite been as influential in midfield as we expected of him, but there's plenty of time. Good play by Ghana. Quality stuff. And that's in a danger area. Very few sides of maturity would dare do that. Have they overdone it? No, they haven't. These are 16, 17, 18-year-olds and a couple of 19-year-olds. But they lose it. Bruno buys his time, does well. Adriano back to Pereira. Jan. Nemo tries to stop him. Here's Hermes in here. Can he put it back? Not far enough. The goalkeeper almost made a botch of it. Well, you can't blame Gian for going in on that one because the goalkeeper showed it to him. The drive by Hermes. The goalkeeper not too certain in his handling. In goes the Brazilian, but he deliberately gets out of the way so that he doesn't do him any harm. Well played by Ahimfo. Akonor on that left-hand side, still feeling a little bit of a knock, but he gets beyond Bruno. That wasn't a good pass, so over the top he needed to have been away. Kate trying to get at Asare. He's past him, but there's a couple of others going. Down he comes. Free kick. He's got tremendous pace. Gago's no slow coach, but there on the run, forced to foul him. Discussions, Adriano, Bruno. Oh, doesn't want a wall at the moment. Yes, now he's organising it. Is it big enough? As Adriano goes for it. Well, it looked as if it was going well over, then it dipped suddenly at the last moment, and I think Ben O suddenly thought, am I in trouble? But he wasn't. He can do some wicked things with the ball. It's on the way up, now it comes down, but is well covered. Nemo to Lamptey, holds it delightfully. Kufor, 16-year-old. Addo. Nemo caught in trouble there, and Adriano chips it beyond Kufor. Kufor goes in strongly. That's a challenge which the referee didn't like, and the Brazilian came in on the back of the Ghanaian defender. Where it went wrong. This referee has controlled 2 games in this World Championship. He gave 6 yellows and a red in both matches. So he's not worried about putting himself about. Bruno, comparative latecomer to this Brazilian side, didn't play in the qualifiers, does well, wins the ball back for Brazil. An unusual circumstance for them, trailing by 1-0. A side that won all of their qualifiers, and that hasn't been done since 1954, since the South American Championship began. Conceded only 1 goal, that was to Mexico from a free kick in their 5 matches so far, but now it's 2, and they're trailing by 1 spectacular goal scored by number 11 Dua of Ghana. Now Marcelinho, wide on the right goes Kate, leaving a little bit of space in the middle, but it's closed up. Bruno coming to help Kate, gets past 1 man, and there's another to go. Gago's onto it. Kate, brilliant stuff by Kate, but 1 too many, and when you take on Isaac Azare, you often lose out. But it's a bad pass by Azare. Pereira, and Brazil coming back into it. Pereira, a good gather, but look at the number of steps he took. He wisely took no more. Bouncing off a defender, then Pereira with the strong drive. Well gathered by the goalkeeper, and then he runs away. The goal scorer and the hero of the moment, Emmanuel Dua, 16-year-old, the youngest of this very talented Ghanaian side. Big poop by Dida. Banini and O under no pressure. Suarez with a big header. Clumsy one, but play on, says the referee, as Gian holds it to Jan. Gian goes forward into the hole, well blocked by Kofi Nemo. Got support from Hermes behind. He chooses to have a go at him, but Nemo does well. Nicely balanced, a slight figure, no test for the goalkeeper yet. Marcelino and Adriano. Oh, there's a Pereira in there. Good tackle by Asari. Kate, Asari gets in there again. Pereira to Bruno. Both fullbacks are up now. Pereira trying to cross to Adriano. Kufor, good header, straight to a colleague, young Addo. Keeps cool and picks out a colleague again. Quality play again by Ghana. Gago switches it to Lamptey. On the right-hand side goes Kofi Nemo. Good play by Hermes. Both sides playing spectacular stuff here. Adriano wants it quickly, but he finds Kate instead. Kate might be able to line one up. Asare first. Kate! At least Asare held him up for a little bit and brought him in on his left foot, which isn't his strongest. And in the end, it didn't test, as you can see, Ben Oyu, but good counter-attack by Brazil. What a final. Dua and Hermes, a throw to Ghana. Dua, the fullback, was marking on the wrong side, and they get a corner out of it. It wasn't good defending there by Brazil. There has been a question mark about the ability of the fullbacks when they're under pressure. Haven't really had the time to judge it, but we can have an opportunity to judge what they're like now from the corner. Gago's gone in there. This is Nemo. Blocked by Jan. We haven't seen much of him in an attacking role. We've got the big fellas on the edge of the area. They give themselves space. Ahinful is on the near post. Gago right at the back. Lamptey on the edge of the area too. Lamptey gets in there. Oh, he didn't get a clean strike at it. And the linesman's flag has gone up. The referee's whistle has gone. There's an infringement there. But Lamptey had half a chance here as it was flicked onto him. He's in a pack of players. He's got to get at it quickly and control it. But that, I think, was handball. Certainly there was an infringement. Also, there was the linesman's flag up for offside. So take your pick. Gago driving forward. This is dangerous. On the left-hand side, it's on the break here. Ahinful. Good challenge by the defender Hermes, who was fouled. That's a free kick. He's not a big fella, but he did well in the air there. Brazil have really got their hands full here. Marcelinho. Oh, it's a hard one for Pereira, and they've pinched it back again, and down the left-hand side goes Akonor. Back to Ahinful. Big Mohamed Gago. It's a lovely switch of play. Despite the fact that Dua is marked up tight, Nemo goes in there, but it's away by Hermes. They still pick it up, and Daniel Abdo has a strike. It was again off target, but the build-up and the first-time play bringing smiles to the coaches of Ghana. Coaches who did a lot of their training in Brazil, a lot of it in Germany. They've had a lot of help, of course, over the years from German coaches, but this is the best of Africa with a little touch of South America and Europe thrown in. Brazil, a very, very good side, are under a lot of pressure. Gian to Jan. This combination so far hasn't really got going, but they'll have a free kick there, and Jan is down with a knock. All the Ghana players get behind the ball. There's no real tight marking. They mark zones. They seem to do it pretty well. Got in there quite sharply. Jan really battling hard. Well played. Kate takes it away. Out of the danger area, but at least they keep possession. This will suit them. Hermes. Kate's come to the left. Hermes goes into the hole. Fortunate. That was a handball by Adriano when the ball came at him rather surprisingly. Referee blows. Ghana flow forward. Asare. Remember, he helped create the first goal. No way through there, though, as Pereira drops back to stifle it. tough tackle. Adriano really felt that one. Now Lamptey. Lamptey getting half an angle, splaying it wide to Ahinful. They're cocky, but you've got to like them for it. They're outdoing the Brazilians at the moment in the Brazilian way of play. Get forward and have a crack if you possibly can. Oh, they're controlling things here. It's looking good for Ghana at the moment with 30 minutes gone. They're beginning to come forward in waves. Gago. Well, the big hit man. Free kicks from any sort of distance. Nothing doing there. And picked up again by Ghana. Lovely quick ball from Ado to Dua. Racing away into the middle, leaving a bit of space for Dua to come in. Not quite sure what that was. The difference in the way these two sides prepared for this match. Ghana continuing to train at the drop of a hat, and even on the morning of the game they were out there training at 6:45, and that's a little bit of anxiety on the face of the Brazilian coach. Out goes Gago, easy win for the big central midfield player. Oh, hacked forward here to Lamptey. Juarez comes across. If you look back at the preparation of these two sides, then Brazil had the better shaped plan because Ghana couldn't get their players together because of their European commitments. But Nemo goes forward. There's a foul there as the Ghanaian held Hermes. Brazil had 26 days to get their game plan together before this one. As for Ghana, they started this tournament without Asare and without Akonor. Well won by Kufor. Picked up by Yan. Kufor quite happy to go for the hospital ball there. There's little disconcerting arguments breaking out between the Brazilians. They've really got a battle on their hands here if they're going to get back into this one. Kate got a little nudge. Pereira to Marcelinho. Not much has come from Marcelinho so far. Ahinful goes back again. Gago, what a fine ball. Dua inside to Nemo. Dua gets forward. They're breaking into the area. Nemo into the middle. It was just a little bit over elaborate. They were enjoying the build-up so much they forgot where they were going. But it's a corner. And Brazil is on the rack here. Gago knocks it on. Big goalkeeper comes for it. And is he fouled? The referee says he was. Free kick. Now they're finding it difficult, Brazil, to build up a worthy move. Kate is playing on the left-hand side at the moment. Adriano knocks it into the middle, and that's wasteful. Lamptey relays it quickly and accurately to Akonor. Here comes Asare. That's always dangerous. That was wasteful. That's now Gian on the wrong side of his defender, but they close him down quickly. Forward goes Kate to help him. Here he is. Gian wide on the right. And the cross to the left-hand side for Jan was a poor one, and it didn't work. Takes a good close-up, this lad, and most of the young ladies have been showing more than usual interest in him. But at the moment, he could do with a smile or two, and he's not getting any change out of the defenders of Ghana to brighten things up for him. And it's Nemo, newcomer to this level of the finals, who's really slotting into this right-hand side position. Ahinful has come over here. MS does a good job. They're interchanging, particularly up front and on the flanks, Ghana. Adriano going for the throw-in, getting it, but it's not that easy to get away. Gilson to Marcelinho. A little bit of space. Bruno. Kate has gone over to the right-hand side again. Jan is on the left-hand side. This is Gian coming to hold it up. Pereira, Jan. Nemo gets to him. Just a little deflection is enough to get Ghana back in possession. Dua. It's all a bit predictable at the moment from Brazil, and it's very exciting from Ghana. On the left-hand side goes Asare. Lamptey finds him. Asare in for Dua. He couldn't control it, and that might have been a telling pass. Addo is in there neatly. Fine pass down the flank to Dua. Look at the space here for Lamptey. That's dangerous. In for Dua, he's offside. Well, the Ghanaian development at this level started through the encouragement of the head of state, Jerry John Lawrence, JJ as they like to call him, when he came to power 12 years ago. The Ministry of Sport has developed young players in that period. They're the under-17 world champions. They even have an under-10 side touring Japan this summer. I don't know whether that's advisable, but it seems to be working the trick here all right, as Brazil come forward looking for that elusive equalizer. Adriano, it's so important to Brazil that he gets into the game and starts pulling a few strings. But Ghana, at the moment, looking good. Gago. Addo takes over. Invites a challenge, ducks between two players. He's got support inside and out. Lamptey, Gago stretches at it, and he gets a word from his captain as he goes by. Take it easy. This is Dida. How many shots has he really had to save? But the important thing is his side are trailing by 1 goal. Spots of rain beginning to come down. Forward goes Pereira, banged away by Gago. No back pass on here. Juarez does well. In for Kate. Ghana get back, take a breather. Now it's up to Brazil. Not a lot of movement in front of them. Kate goes to the left. Adriano trying to get away from the marker. He's pushed farther up front. This is Kate. Nemo is onto him. Little have we seen of this number 11 Jan, but that was a fine ball to Gian. Still looking better for Brazil. With no real danger. He hadn't got enough support, but that's not much of a pass out. Bad play by Kufor. And Pereira might have a drive. The goalkeeper was struggling there. All because of bad defensive play there by Ghana. They were overindulging, and Pereira whistled one in from some distance. Another Sao Paulo player, but an amateur, but that had a touch of quality about it. Goalkeeper was worried. Banked forward by Gelson. That's a fairly easy one for Asare. And they pick up comfortably because they come back to support one another very well. There's always a couple of options. That was a giveaway by Kufor. Picked up well. That's a good tackle by Gago. 5 minutes before the break. It's still Ghana leading by that early goal. Beautiful play by Addo through the legs of Adriano. Humiliation. Down the line goes Ahinful. Back to Lamptey. Akonor tries to turn. Well marked up. And it's Brazil who defend well. Kate easily out-jumped by athletic Banini. Lovely turn, hard ball though, and he didn't get in the first time, he went for it in the second. It's really hard work for Brazil in midfield. Again, Hermes was almost caught out risky. Nemo, the leader of the singing in the bus when they come to the stadium, he's got a fantastic voice. And he's certainly orchestrating a few things on this right-hand side here. Big Dida, 192, tallest player in this competition. Won by Kufor. Adriano at the moment, the number 10 for Brazil, can't get into the game, and that was Asare showing it to him and then taking it away. Too strong for Nemo. 18-year-old who plays for Hearts, and because of so many of their players play abroad, you think it's Hearts of Scotland, but in fact it's Hearts of Oak of Ghana. Good ball from Marcelinho to Hermes. Pereira. Marcelinho. Pereira looking good here for Brazil. Chip forward into the hole for Gian, but he was coming back for the short pass. So out comes Ben Ou, and the danger is over. Akonor. Instant control. Lovely pass to Kofi Nemo. Dua just got a touch to it. Get on with it, says the referee. No, indeed, he wants to examine the ball. So there's something wrong with it. And the first substitution of the game, which is slowing the pace down a little bit of what has been a fascinating first half. Nemo to take it. Another one for Ghana. They're all camped out up here. The marking is tight by Brazil. This will suit Ghana for the closing moments. And this time, the referee didn't like that. So it's a Brazilian throw instead. Bruno, so far unable really to support down that right-hand side where Kate is isolated and has produced a good contest with Asare. A lot of good movement off the ball. Jan to Kate. In goes Asare. Bruno. Nice little touch to Marcelino. Is there an opening here now? Gian. Gian going for the return, but that had been spotted by at least two players, and the return wasn't good enough. So nothing coming of it. And the defending good by Ghana, and Gian really hasn't had an opportunity in this game. Well, they seem to be enjoying themselves. There's plenty of noise. There's very few horns in this stadium. They're actually illegal. You might have heard them in the other stadia around the country during the course of this championship, but not in Sydney. They're banned. The drum's making up for it. It's well away, but into a danger area. Lamptey couldn't get there. Brazil have squeezed up now. Marcelino through the hole for Adriano, and there's not the best clearance in the world. It comes to Hermes. There's a lot of Brazilian players in that penalty area, but Nemo seems to be able to handle it on his own. Took a knock. There was 2 against 1 there, but Nemo, with very fresh legs, clears it up. And we're into time added on now in this first half. It's all gone a little bit pedestrian here, but I don't think Ghana are complaining too much about it. Things didn't start too brightly for them, but they're going to be in the lead, it looks like it, when the Turkish referee blows the half-time whistle. Or are they? Juarez to Jan, Adriano, Marcelino, Bruno. A lot of Brazilians push forward here. Gian, and here goes Juarez. Great save. Back in again by Jan, and away by Gago. And they could have equalized there when Juarez suddenly popped up. And there is the whistle for the end of the first half, when a poor header, in fact, dropped to Juarez. It was a great save by Ben Aou, and there's a lesson there for Ghana, and certainly encouragement for Brazil. It was a game that had started at frantic pace with Brazil pushing on. But in the 12th minute, a brilliant move down the left-hand side brought the first goal of what has been a marvellous first half for number 11, Emmanuel Duarte. After that, the game developed as the confidence of Ghana seemed to explode upon us. Brazil struggled to get back in it, but in the last few moments, Brazil beginning to look a little bit better, and perhaps a little bit unfortunate that they didn't equalize there. A tremendous final, a half-time here in this Sydney Football Stadium. It's Brazil 0, Ghana 1. There's more to come.
The bank moves in, Opal Museum goes under.
We lost health, we lost dignity, we lost credibility, and they made me criminal.
Vox Populi, Sunday night, SBS.
The trouble with most toasted mueslis is they're heavy in fat. Kellogg's Just Right, however, has far less fat than toasted muesli, yet its wholesome blend of whole wheat flakes, rye, juicy sultanas, honey, oats and the goodness of bran gives you a truly satisfying taste, without that sinking feeling. Not too heavy, not too light. It's just right. From Kellogg's.
McDonald's, huh?
Yeah.
Smells good.
Thanks.
If this ride was any longer, you'd have to fight for those fries.
We're stuck.
Did you know there's lots of Telecom 0011 international flexi plans to lots of countries? You can make all sorts of savings on your overseas calls. Small savings. Medium savings. Or huge savings.
Call 008 052 052 now. Telecom Flexi Plans. we're talking real savings.
Soccer is the world game, and it's your game. Here's your chance to become a foundation member of the Australian Soccer Supporters Club.
It's a great way to support the game you love.
As a member, you'll enjoy exclusive special privileges.
Australian soccer fans will really be the winners.
Special discounts, complimentary passes, a year's subscription to Soccer Australia, and more.
We all need to support Aussie soccer, and I can't think of a better way to do it.
Join the Australian Soccer Supporters Club. Ring Sydney 810 7000 and get more out of the world game.
Australia 93 is proudly brought to you by Kellogg's Sustain and McDonald's. The official tournament vehicle is Daihatsu.
And welcome back to Australia 93. At the break in the final, it's Ghana leading Brazil 1-0. And if you missed the earlier game today, Australia beaten for third place by England 2-1. But it's been a feast of champagne football in the first half here in the final of Australia 93. And I think Johnny Warren and Robbie Wheatley would probably agree with me. Johnny, this is the sort of game that you want to bottle and keep on the shelf forever.
Well, it's one of those occasions, Les, we felt it would be a fantastic match. Quite often it doesn't live up to expectations. This more than so. This is a game with skill, technique at its highest level.
Robbie?
Les, it's hard to start with which superlative to begin with, because the teams themselves have lived up to expectations. You've had the crowd really gasping and saying we want more, and it's a shame it has to stop. And it's you know, a sign of really how well Ghana are playing in this tournament. But they did take the lead, and they did so with a classic goal. But we are really looking forward to more in the second half.
John, Brazil started off the better. They put enormous pressure on in those first 10 minutes.
We thought earlier that's their tactic, Les. The first 15, 20 minutes is the pressure. The problem for them, I feel, is Adriano. He's disappeared from the game completely. Whether he's injured, he got a knock first up, and he's just disappeared from the game, except, of course, those free kicks. But this battle between Asare here and Karte of Brazil on that other flank has been just an absorbing clash in the first half.
But really, John, the high point of that first half was the adjustment by a Hinful, the cross with the outside of the right foot, and the header is worth celebrating, an incredible leap, and then the positioning of the header to beat the goalkeeper of Dita's class.
Well, Dita's been beaten twice in, 14 games, and it takes that type of goal. Dua has been one of the players of the tournament for me.
Closer analysis here, it really was a position, he got in front of the defender, but really that timing and execution was of the highest order. But Asare fed him the ball, and really from then on he was fairly closely marked, Les. That's the amazing thing about a lot of the work that's been done in this game. They only give them half a metre and they're off. And
that's all they need, isn't it? I mean, the guy stands in front of him and he just bends it right around him. He could be maybe a metre away. It's amazing skill. Fantastic first half.
The lone attacker, Gian, here has lacked a little bit of support, and I think sometimes the Brazilians are over-elaborating a little bit. They did start on fire, and Karte moved to the left wing, but he will get nose change out of Nima, whose tackling is extremely sharp, like the Ghanaians. And, I mean, the chances will come few and far between, John, at this stage.
Well, I noted at half-time Jardel is warming up. I wonder whether that Brazil will make a change up front. I feel Karte is not getting much out of Asare either. I mean, we talk about both these teams in an attacking sense, but they're such great defenders. Nemo, you mentioned, Kufor and Benini at the back, and also Asare has been just superb throughout this whole tournament. Whether Karte may switch to the left, or they may play Jan a little wider and bring Jardel on and play him through the middle.
But the sequence of play that led to this incredible chance.
Of all the players,
yes.
Of all the players for Brazil to fall to, it's their central defender. It's could well be the telling point of the game. Great time to get a goal just going in at half-time to level a score. Juarez can't believe it.
Indicative of the game itself. There was 5 or 6 one-time passes. A challenge here from Gian, and it falls incredibly to the feet of Gelson, and the save, in fact, Johnny, he smothered it well.
I had a question mark on Owu. I haven't seen him in the qualifiers in Africa, in Mauritius, and in this tournament. We've hardly seen him. But that save there, of course, just indicates how good he is.
Well, the statistics show 52% of possession to Brazil, but I'm not so sure whether it means all that much, John, because it was really end-to-end stuff.
Fantastic game, Les, but the possession Ghana has, it's a more incisive type of passing than Brazil. Brazil is more the lateral type of thing, relying on Adriano coming from behind or Karte breaking. Karte hasn't had a good game so far by his standards.
Okay,
and
so
Adriano is out of it. So Ghana use the ball much better. They are playing like the old-fashioned Brazil. They're out Brazilian Brazil, which is impossible.
If that's possible.
Okay, well, if Adriano's out of it, what are the remedies here for Julius Leal?
Well, is maybe to switch him to the other side, or maybe to play Jan wide on the left and bring Jardel through the middle. Jardel's a player I haven't seen. He plays in the first team at Vasco da Gama, and obviously is a player of talent. He's a bit taller, gives him a little bit more strength in the air. But they seldom make changes. Whether they're going to do it this early, I don't know.
And for mine, Les, I think Jan could be pushed up a little bit more in a positive sense, and his crossing against Australia was outstanding. With Karte, if he can resurrect his second half, that will provide some of the service into Jan, but chances are few and far between, and I think they'll rue that miss just before half-time. A crucial time, would have brought them back into the game, but as John said, there's sting in this Ghanaian attack and defence. The tackles are no-nonsense tackles, and I think they've just been a little bit sharper to the ball.
Well, we're enjoying this 21st century football from Ghana, but they must have some vulnerabilities, John. What are they? Have you seen any?
I haven't seen any.
Yeah.
But concentration is particularly for African football, is one of the weaknesses. But the concentration tonight has been good. Their approach early on too, the European influence coming out, if you like. They hit Adriano, Marcelinho, and Jan. First tackle was to let them know who's the boss. So, but all's fair in love and war, as they say.
Okay, John, Robbie, thank you. We'll take a short break and return with the second half of the final of Australia '93. That's the 7th World Youth Championship for the FIFA Coca-Cola Cup.
On Monday, come to Jamaica and Barbados, where cricket is an obsession.
From the time a boy in the West Indies is at school, he plays cricket. He plays it on the beach, he plays it in the road. It doesn't really matter. As soon as a West Indian boy can walk, he wants to play.
And social or racial background comes second to being a Barbadian.
She speaks a very strong Barbadian dialect. It's a mixture of Scotch and Irish.
Redemption Song, The Islands of the Caribbean, 7:30, Mondays.
We've had pogo sticks and moon hoppers. Then there were hula hoops, and who could forget yo-yos? Now McDonald's presents the newest, greatest fun around. Sports balls. Everyone's catching on to these small, squishy balls of fun. There's a cricket ball, a basketball, a football, and a soccer ball. Collect a different one each week for 95 cents each with any burger or muffin purchase. Hurry to McDonald's, because they won't be round for long.
McDonald's, it's snack time.
Kellogg's cornflakes remind me of my childhood. It was standard breakfast. It was the only way I knew to wake up.
Well, there's nothing that compare with Kellogg's cornflakes for value, and the quality speaks for itself.
Value is a very important thing. Kellogg's cornflakes provide me with a good low-cost breakfast that I know is going to see me right through until lunchtime.
Kellogg's cornflakes, because the simple things in life are often the best.
That's the breakfast cereal. That's it.
Daihatsu Charade, Australia's #1 selling imported car for the last 3 years, is being run out to make way for the new model. So right now, your Daihatsu dealer is offering outstanding deals. The Daihatsu Charade factory run out. Run in before they all run out.
If your face was square, shaving would be simple. But your face has curves. Introducing the revolutionary Schick FX, the only twin-blade razor that flexes to follow the curves of your face. Schick FX. We're changing the face of shaving.
In the March issue of Ariel magazine, the SBS Viewer's Companion, we preview the 7th World Youth Championship, including profiles of every competing team. We meet Lorenza de Medici, presenter of the lavish new Italian cooking series, The Medici Kitchen, and win a trip for 2 to Italy in Ariel's Avanti Roma competition. Look for the March Ariel with young Socceroos captain Kevin Muscat on the cover at all good news agencies, or subscribe by phoning 0055 14610.
Welcome back to Australia '93. The half-time almost ready to get underway. The half-time score in the final is Ghana leading Brazil 1-0. The story of the match, Brazil put on awesome pressure in the first 10 minutes, and then really most of it was Ghana, but Brazil started coming back and hitting back towards the latter stages of that first half. Some of the gallery there tonight, a full house here, 40,000 people at the Sydney Football Stadium. The last time this stadium was filled for a soccer match was the World Cup qualifier between Australia and Israel back in 1989. A reminder that both of these matches that were on the menu today will be replayed on SBS tomorrow. The third place playoff between Australia and England will be replayed from 8:30 tomorrow morning, and then the final will be replayed at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And don't forget also that between 8:30 and 9:30 tomorrow, a 1-hour special on the climax of the 7th World Youth Championship. Brazil, of course, coming here as champions of South America, Ghana coming here as champions of Africa. And if Africa is going to be is the emerging continent of world football, well, Brazil certainly the champions of the continent that the African teams want to emulate. Just one change in the lineup to the expected Brazilian lineup before the match started, and that was that their left fullback Wagner is out, and he of course was substituted by Hermes. The Ghana players, or the Ghana lineup, is as normal, and we don't expect any changes, any substitutions in the second half. About 1,000 Ghanaians in the stadium today. You wouldn't think there was a large Ghanaian population in Australia, but whenever there's a football match, the communities seem to come out from somewhere, and there are indeed some of them. Lots of Brazilian fans, of course. Some of the best traveled fans in the world are the Brazilians. Take no notice of the economic situation in that country. Wherever the Brazilian teams play, there seem to be Brazilian fans traveling with them. Well, the second half, as you can see, about to get underway. Let's take you back to our commentator, Jerry Harrison.
This is the Sydney Football Stadium, the second half of the World Youth Championship final. Australia 93. Ghana lead Brazil by 1-0. Only the 6th goal that Brazil have conceded in 23 internationals. This stadium, as you can probably see, is decorated with the green and gold of Australia. When Brazil first saw it last night in their training session here, they said, oh, that looks like the green and the yellow of Brazil. It hasn't looked much like it, but this game is very much in the balance. Vanini, who was penalised at the beginning of the first half and took a yellow card, is in a little bit of trouble here. Vanini with a challenge, which I can understand why he's a little bit upset by. It looked as if he got the ball. The referee didn't much like the way he took the man as well. But that is a difficult one for a young player. Ransford Vanini with a free kick to Brazil. Brazil won the 83 final by 1-0. They won the 85 final by 1-0. Here it's 1-0 against them, but there's a lot more to come in this fascinating final. Now all the Ghanaians behind, and I wonder if this wall is going to confuse the goalkeeper, Ben Uru. And the referee quite determinedly bringing them back the required distance. Is it Adriano as ever? No, it's not. It's Gian. He hits it straight against the wall. Adriano drives, and it comes to nothing. Wonderful physique, these Ghanaian players, and Adriano looks as if he's struggling a little bit. He took a knock on the head against Mexico, but that is lower down, and he's limping. Another free kick. so important to Brazil to get back into business, as the English showed in their semi-final here. Without the same qualities that Brazil have got, you can get at Ghana if you don't give them the time and space to show off their talents. But it ain't easy. Now, is this Adriano with, again, the precaution of a pretty big wall. Chipping it up, it's not a bad one, into space. Cleared by Gago. Ado, dangerous. And in goes Hermes. Hermes closed down beautifully, and Pereira couldn't get in there. It's bouncing about all over the place. Kufur got it away with a big, big boot. As Brazil pressed forward as they did at the beginning of the match. Kate had a fascinating encounter with Asari down this right-hand side. In goes Gian. Nicely done. It was well knocked down to him. It's looking brighter for Brazil. And to be fair, they did have more shots, certainly on target, than Ghana in the first half. But it doesn't count if they don't go in the back of the net. The side, the coach says, is coming into form at the right time, but they certainly need some form here. Akonor into a little bit of trouble. Kate closed down quickly by Asari. Threaded through to Marcelino. Lovely ball. Marcelino goes for the return. Has he got the pace to beat Gago? It was a useful ball, but a little bit too deep. 3 against 1 there by Ahimful. No, Ahimful's on the left-hand side. That was Dua coming back to help. Good break now to Jan. Adriano. Jan's gone through the middle. Out comes Jan again. He's got there. It's a goal. Brilliant play by Brazil. Jan with a lovely pass through, and they're back in it. And the reply from Brazil was top quality. We didn't see much of him in the first half, but what a ball. Again, the give and go. Adriano holds it up, waits. The run is on. He darts into the space. Goalkeeper comes. He's got to get there quickly. A little stab, and it's in the net. 1-1. What superb play by Adriano, who is now going to Switzerland. The timing of that pass was top quality, but here come Ghana again. And a superb way for Brazil to get back into this contest. Did the goalkeeper need to come? Well, he probably did. Here they come again. Foul on the edge of the area. No. Carry on. And at the beginning of the second half, it's a Brazil 1, Ghana 1. Free kick there. Now Bruno, we might see more of him supporting Kate on the right-hand side. And he's got by Asari. They give people medals for that. But picked out nicely by Nemo. The pace will now go into overdrive. Hermes in for Adriano. Not a good return this time. A little bit too quick. Hermes doesn't give up, but nor does Nemo. That's a free kick. And it's not going Ghana's way. And the English got a goal, remember, at the beginning of the second half in the semi-final, and rocked the Ghanaians a little bit. But this is 1-1 now. This is a totally different story. And the brothers Leao trying to get a couple of points out there. Well, it's a difficult angle, but that won't inhibit Adriano possibly from having a go with the right foot. Jan on the left foot. They're ducking and diving around in the penalty area. Adriano goes for it. Juarez was coming in dangerously at that far post, and that wasn't far away. That was beautifully timed. And there's no doubt about the side on top here. Goalkeeper struggling. Juarez didn't quite get there. They didn't see too much of his influence in the first half, but now he's certainly turning the tide. Akonor to Lamptey. Too much. Gelson enjoyed that one. Highest today. Nemo a little nudge, but there's 4 against 1 here. If you count the goalkeeper. Asare coming back here, finding Akonor quickly. Akonor goes down the left-hand side. Bruno's not at him. Inside the fullback will be a good ball. He gives it to him. Akonor can get in there. Ahinful, and that was a good header by Juarez. If he'd have picked out Ahinful in the middle, they'd have been in terrible trouble. Now, Asare, Akonor. It's Ghana coming back now. Akonor. Well blocked. Ooh, not totally well cleared though. And for once, Dua couldn't control it. Just getting the official attendance of 40,000, noise like 80,000. And it's Ghana coming back into this contest. Gago, which will give goalkeeper Dida. Nelson Silva Jesus, his full name. 19-year-old, a lot of confidence. Plays for the Victoria Club in the Bahia State. And we've had some good goalkeepers in this competition. Dida, Watson of England, the American Cesar, and the Russian Alexandrov. But we've got some quality midfield play in this game. Now Adriano, forward goes Marcelinho. Adriano, theatrical fall, but it's a free kick nevertheless. The game really has opened up here. That could easily suit the Brazilians. Quickly taken, but it wasn't well taken. And on this touchline is Bruno getting some treatment as the game goes on. Referee turns, checks that he's not breaking any rules. He's back on the field of play. He didn't actually come off it. Oh, little touch by Gian to Adriano. Forward goes Jan. Another fall. No free kick this time. Adriano muscles his way through. Adriano drives. Well, he's getting his sights down. He's bringing it down a couple of notches, and we might have one on target. But this looks ominous. Is this a possibility for Kaicho? Kaiko is still on his feet by the bench. It's not unusual for substitutes to keep warmed up. It's sultry and sticky here in Sydney. And there's a free kick to Ghana. The players are very young here, but the referee only 30 years of age. Incredible to be in charge of a world final. Banini. A call from the goalkeeper, and it's in safe hands. Marcelinho to Pereira. Kate goes wide on the right. Bruno is here helping him. Kate ducks and dives around in front, trying to get some space for his colleague. In the hole goes Marcelinho. Little touch to Kate. Closed down quickly by Ahinful, and it's Ghana again. The suit is on, and that's good play by Jan, the goal scorer. Jan has come in here, still got it, fighting hard, and a free kick on the edge of the area. And it's a physical approach by Brazil, and it's rattling Ghana, and it's rattling Fred Osamdodu. And a yellow card to Ado, I think. Or was it Kufo? It looks like Ado to me. But anyhow, it's symptomatic of the change in the quality of the game. A lot of things are happening on the edge of this area. Juarez gets a little bit of treatment and comes in with some instructions from the bench. Gian with the left foot, Adriano with the right foot. And the referee pushes away the man, and a chance there as the referee was still signalling to Ghanaian defender to get away. He took the too quickly, says the Ghanaians, and I think he might be right. Adriano took it. The referee was still speaking to a Ghanaian. There's more protests here, and as a result of that, that's a yellow card for Kufuor. Kufuor gets a yellow one, so they're coming thick and fast. A corner away by Addo. 3 yellow cards for Ghana in this game. It's 1-1. They're losing a bit of cool, the young Africans. They're fighting, of course, Ghana for a continent as much as for themselves. Not the first African nation to get into this final. Nigeria, of course, in Saudi Arabia, lost to Portugal. And the next World Youth Championship is held in Nigeria. Oh, Juarez wasn't happy with that clearance. Bruno gets in on Ahinful. Ahinful stabs at that one. Lamptey too. There's some real physical contest here. The two sides would like to play it the Brazilian way, but there's 1 or 2 European challenges coming in. Bruno to Pereira. Good header away, picked up again by Ahinful. A challenge from behind by Gilson wasn't 100% friendly. Adriano trying to thread it through to Kate. Asare sticks with him. The foul, says the referee, by Kate. Asare protests. Banini protests, and he has to be fairly careful. Good break down the left-hand side. It's Ahinful through the middle. Goes Lamptey. There's a bit of shirt pulling in there. Whenever Lamptey gets anywhere near the danger area, somebody gets very close to them, and there's usually a handful of white shirt grabbed. Gago. Addo gets away from Gian's challenge. Space on the right, and he's got support again from Nemo. Dua is on that flank. Forward goes Addo. Addo here with a chance of a cross, a little bit deep. And Gago. Oh, it's a good chance for Addo. He couldn't control it. That was a total miss hit by Mohamed Gago, but these things sometimes add up to a little bit of magic. The header knocked back when O'Connor crossed it. The shot was a wild one, and suddenly he was in, but he couldn't control it, Addo. Banini clears. It's going to be picked up by Brazil. They're using it much more effectively and quicker. But that was a fine challenge by Nemo on Adriano. Still pushed quite a long way up front. Nice little turn, using the available space, but a good recovery almost by Pereira. Cross comes Juarez. Nice play. Gian. Down the right-hand side goes Kate. Can he get into the hole? He's not quite quick enough even for that. Well, he knew he had support, Kufuor. How well they link up in defensive positions. Super stuff. Now they're pressing forward. This is Lamptey. Now Gago. There's players free on the right-hand side, 3 of them. This is Addo. Dua on that right flank. Nemo is pushed forward, dragging a defender. This is Nemo now. And into the middle, which the goalkeeper just holds. A superb move, ends with the goalkeeper grabbing it and stifling the danger. Kate, I don't think he's quite got the stamina of speed that some of these Ghanaians have got. Gago got that in quickly there. Again, they build up neatly. Have they overdone it? Kate is going to get a yellow card. First yellow for Brazil. And we're going to have a substitution here. Pereira is going to come off, and coming on is Kaiko. So it's a Kaiko of the Internazionale Club of Porto Alegre. He's a very talented midfield striker, a little bit more offensive player than the number 8 Pereira, who he replaced. And they might need him here. That was a nudge, that's a free kick. And Lamptey, the number 8 playing in Anderlecht, says he's not wildly happy about playing in Belgium at the moment. He says he doesn't get much of a break from the Anderlecht coach and would like to go to Italy, but that might be a little bit too much for him. Again, this last chapter of this World Youth Championship unwinds. It's still 1-1. Hermes to Bruno. Kaiko holding in the middle. That's a fine ball if it can be knocked on. Play on, although the referee indicated that the Brazilian player made a back. Space on the right-hand side. Oh, this is good stuff. Lamptey knocked in. It looked as if the ball was tied to his foot there. Now it's Addo. It's going to be chased by Duar. Hermes in some trouble. That's a throw to Ghana, and a protest from Hermes to the Chinese linesman. Well, Addo was all a little bit wasteful. There were smiles on that Ghanaian bench for much of the first half. Now they know at 1-1 the game is very much in the balance. It's a question of really who keeps their heads. They've both got tremendous talent, or who has the guts to take the initiative. Nice play into Arhinfo. The Brazilian standing off him, surprisingly. This is Nemo down the right-hand side. There's hardly any room for him to cross it, as all the Brazilian players come back to defend, something that the coach says they've developed over the last 2 years. They love to attack, but they are encouraged to get behind the ball when they haven't got possession. Bruno to Kaiko. Well stopped by Banini. Kate surely fouled. Only a throw-in. That must have been a free kick. Well, there we go. The Brazilian protest to the Turkish referee. He supports the linesman. 3 teams out here, of course. Hermes trying to get there first. He wins that battle with Duar. Adriano knocked down to Kaiko. Kaiko's a real runner. Adriano can't possibly get there. It wasn't quite good enough. He hasn't got the pace of the game yet. And now it's Ghana who flow back. Knocked into the space here for Asare. Gago. Addo just makes a little bit of room for himself, then breaks forward, trying to get a return. Good marking. Gian to Kaiko. Kate is on the right-hand side, checks out, comes back, gives himself a bit of space, but Asare is still onto him fast. And with help from Akono, it's Ghana again. Addo, wide on the right is Duar. Hermes gets over to him. Nemo comes up to support just behind. But all over the field, little personal contests of the highest quality. Kufor in the hole for Akono. Again, the marking tight. Time for Banini. Makes the control look so easy. The passing wasn't up to the same standard, though. Of this Ghanaian side, 3 of them play in Italy with the Torino club, 2 in Belgium with Anderlecht, 2 in Germany and one who isn't on the field at the moment with Romania. And they said when they came here, it was very much like coming home, because they came together out of, many of them, the European winter, into pleasant circumstances, meeting their pals again. Many of them, they've been together for quite a few years, since they were 11. But now they need the collective spirit to keep Brazil out. And in goes Gian. Again, tight marking by Banini. That was a miscue by Asare, and they stand out like a sore thumb because he very rarely does anything wrong. And although defenders never get Player of the Tournament awards, he must be in there with a chance. Bruno is pushed out more than tackled out. Two Brazilians onto that one, and they can't control it. It's Jan who is cursing himself. Akonor gets away from Kate. Lamptey with some neat control despite the pressure. Kofi Nemo. Dua down the right-hand side. Now Dua cutting in. Looking for a return. Dua keeps going for this one. Good defending in the end. And Dua surely is offside. The first move was good, but he couldn't get back quite quick enough. Ghana, of course, the under-17 champions, new to this level of international football, but surprisingly and somewhat disappointingly, I feel already eliminated from the Senior World Cup, having quite recently lost to Algeria. That was a major disappointment to them. But one of the things they're trying to impress here on the FIFA officials is that Africa should be worth more than 2 places in this competition. They have 3 in the Senior World Cup, but only 2 here. And if they can get the trophy, that might add strength to the argument. Brazil have other things on their mind. Good play by Kate. Kate cutting inside. Asare gets to him. This is good. Hermes tries to get to it, but Adriano and Gian missing their strike here. A clear opportunity for Brazil went begging. And it breaks, fortunately, for Ghana, as a player goes down injured in midfield. And the Turkish referee holds the game up. Well, what a moment that was for Brazil when Kate got down the right-hand side. It's a 1-1 here with 20 minutes of the normal time left, but that should have been 2-1. Kate got past his defender, Asare, rarely. Now, 2 players go for this, and they get in each other's way. Adriano had the better strike, Gian got in his way, and the danger was gone. Kufuor has recovered, but on this side, there's a treatment for Kate. But anyhow, it's a free kick to Ghana at 1-1. Taken by Gago. It's a little touch on. The goalkeeper comes out. It's a punch of sorts. Jan controls it. It's a dangerous one because Nemo's squeezing up on Gian, but they play it well. Superb stuff. Marcelinho. Keiko to Adriano. Little nudge aside by Marcelinho, who's much more involved, but Ghana, very athletic, get back into it, then give it away. Hermes, good control, but was it necessary? And Juarez forced to put it out. So much in the balance here, there's much too much space for Ado. A little bit too strong. This is Nii Lamptey. Can he get a good cross in? It's 1 against 1 here and dangerous for Brazil. And Asari drives, but he was always at the wrong angle. Isaac Asari, 18 years of old, plays for Anderlecht, and of course scored a dramatic free kick winner, which cost Australia the bronze medal in the Barcelona Olympics. 4 of this side out there for Ghana played in those Olympics, and you can see how the nation is making tremendous progress, with a nation that can't afford to send a single journalist to these championships, and Brazil hardly any better off. They've only sent 2. And Gelson gets in, but he doesn't get it cleanly, and the shot by Lamptey wasn't cleanly struck, and they know it. A player, of course, who's been to Brazil, knows a bit about the lambada and 1 or 2 other unmentionable things, actually. But a player who can speak 4 languages, whereas 1 or 2 of the players in this Ghana side, without being too pointed, haven't had the opportunity of even a top-quality primary education. Kaito for Brazil. Marcelinho's gone forward, but Kate quickly tackled by Asari, as ever. Well, we're getting closer, but still some way off. We thought of extra time and sudden death, but many of these games, many of these finals, particularly, have been turned in the closing moments, when the legs start to get a little bit tired and the gaps open up. And there's plenty of time for heroes and villains here. Hermes, turn for Adriano. He'll have a drive. Almost arrogantly controlled by Ben Ou. And another Ghanaian player down. It looks like Dua. And the referee says, I'm afraid the game will have to go on unless you kick it out, which they have done. Well, bearing in mind that this is the 6th game in something like 14 or 15 days for these young players. A lot of knocks are built up. They're really fit, but the tension and the sheer involvement at this level is absolutely exhausting. Well, here's how Dua and Gian clashed. It's interesting that Ghana very rarely use substitutes. If at all possible, they keep hold of the original team, even if they have to shake it around positionally. Bit of sportsmanship as the ball is returned to Ghana, who kicked the ball out. Now they're going for the throat here for real. Ado gets it, but it's not a clean header. And Marcelinho, much more influential in this second half, pulls it down delightfully. Through the middle goes Adriano. Couldn't get that. Controlled header from Banini, the giant Gago. Ripe old age of 17 in the midfield. Ahinful controls well. Akono's on the left-hand side for Asari. Bruno gets to him. Akono is a full international. Haven't seen too much of him, and that wasn't an international cross. By Gelson. Adriano. And the drama rages on here. Down the left-hand side goes Gian. Kufor is with him. Gian still going, and he wins that little contest. Gian was under pressure from what the Brazilian coach calls their best striker, Amoroso, who plays in Japan. He wasn't released early enough, so we've seen more of Gian than perhaps the coach expected. But here they're pushing forward now. Driven in. The goalkeeper, I think, was in two minds that it was going to be a cross, but Hermes went for the shot. Cut out almost by Juarez, and picked up again by Kate. Kate goes for the return. Adriano couldn't quite get it there. There's a diagonal run by Kate, and he went for the through pass. Challenge there by Marcelinho. Keeps going. Good brisk challenge by Bruno, and it's Brazil, I think, finishing the stronger. The Brazilian side made up of amateurs who are with professional clubs but not on contracts, and one or two full-time professionals on good contracts. Ado keeps going, but he was unwise. Kaiko is putting pressure on the Ghanaian defense, but they keep cool, and it's a goal kick. Real riches in playing talent on this field, but it's a tired riches at the moment. Asari, who's due back with Anderlecht within hours of this match finishing. But will there be tears or will there be celebrations? Oh, that's Asari caught on the wrong side of his man. It's Kate trying to thread it through. Poor defending. Adriano couldn't quite get there. In the end, Ghana get it free. But weary legs beginning to make half chances. But now it's Asari coming forward. Good pass. Gilson. 3-2. Kate. Here. Well done. Play. Surely. Knew it. And but it shouldn't be a fight. Here we go again. Now to return. A little bit of an cut result. Dua drop back. Forward. Looking for turn. Kufo coming again. Drop. Through Lamptey to more. Lamptey's in there. Just on line player. To Bruno. They can't declare yet. Nice ball. Can Marcelinho get forward? Sorry, coming back. Marcelinho supporting. He hasn't got it. Come back for a little space and time. Adriano fouled. But coach was Kaika. Fresh legs means for Brazil. Less than 10 minutes to the left. To Kaiko, dangerous area, well away by a little knock for yes, this is looking and way well. The right out is a duo. Ahin with Lamptey in the middle. Using Connor on his left-hand side. Now it's Brazil's turn to and worry. Played by Jan. He's won positions. The crowd, but that's a perfectly justified decision. The man of the Ghanaian went through it. Just stabbed through, he jumped the Ghana free kick. But there's no maliciousness. Dua looking for Ado. Gelson gets it away to Kaiko. Still got pace in reserve here. Adriano. Wide on the left is not quite the physical presence to get it away, but the clearance wasn't good. And GM gets it in the end. 4-2 Adriano, the space, but he's tired and he's quickly loses it. Still in the balance, this wonderful final. Akonor. Too much. Picked off by Bruno. Marcelino to Bruno. Too much again for Adriano, who's really struggling physically now. Banini roars into the heart of midfield. Banini picks up the ball. What a he is. Stabbed away, but it's still Dua. Nemo on the outside. Overhits it. Ahin full with the strike. Within 2 hours, this will be turned back into the league stage. But we've seen some high at the high level in the code here. Of Eastern Sydney code to Ghana, put on a real show for us here in this 7th World Youth Championship final. Kaiko is fouled, and on our clock we've got 5 minutes left. Bruno, 1 goal here surely will win it for either side. It's still cat and mouse. The pace has slowed a little. And I think Ghana are about to make a substitution. Forward, they come again. Ahin to Akonor. In the middle is Lamptey. But great defending in the end by Gelson. The substitution about to be made here. Akonor is coming off, so he won't get the free trip to England because he hasn't scored. And the man coming on is Boateng, who has been used as a substitute and has turned games in the qualifying tournament. We've got a couple of match winners against Egypt. He's a flyer on the right-hand side, and that's where he goes to. So watch out for Boateng, and he's going to get involved in here. Almost. Hermes. Oh, and it's picked up there by Nemo. In goes Ahin. Referee was in the way. Free kick anyhow. Well, unless somebody comes up with a winner in the next 3 minutes, we're going to go into extra time, and that means sudden death. So who can produce a trump card in these last few minutes? It's Brazil finishing stronger, but not by much. Bruno. There was a push there on the Ghanaian, so that's a free kick. Gago in a hurry to pump this one forward towards Ahinfo. Boateng wide on the right. There's a pull there, and that's bad play. And a yellow card for Jan. Well, they've been pulling Lamptey's shirt for some time, but that was so blatant that the referee couldn't let that one go. He's worked hard in the defensive role, but I think that we can all acknowledge was overdoing it. But it gives Ghana a chance, and it's Gago to go for the big bang. It's deflected, and it's away for a corner. Now this is a problem or two for Brazil. Remember that in the under-17 championship it was 1-1 until Brazil conceded a goal, and Ghana won it 2-1. Are they going to concede here? Knocked into the middle, the goalkeeper stays on his line. What a narrow escape for Brazil from Osei Kuffour. Kuffour, I think he could see the target. He certainly beat the defender and he beat the goalkeeper, but it was wide of the post. Goalkeeper struggling. Nice turn. Forward goes Gian. Good play by Banini. Lamptey to Boateng. Boateng, the flyer, the fresh player. Well defended, but back he comes again. And it's Ado. Lamptey can't get a shot in. Gago picks it up. No foul. Brazil pick it up, break forward on the left-hand side. Now there's a chance of a break. Through the middle, there's a chance here now for Gian to wrap it up. Gian has won it in the very last minute. Brazil, 2 goals to 1. What an incredible finale. And the Brazilians leap with joy and burst into tears. What an amazing finish here. We are now into time added on. He hit that ball in the 89th minute and 50 seconds. What a pass by Marcelino. Gian is got behind the defenders. He can't hang about because he's being closed down, and it's a fine goal. What a ball from the captain. Again, catching the Ghanaians out on the counter-attack, but it was a superb finish, beaten on the near post, but still give the credit to the spirit and the quality of the Brazilians, and they've won it. Now, of course, the game has been held up. The referee is not allowing it to stop forever, because that will obviously play right into the hands of the Brazilians. But Ghana know really it's all over. Players are getting treatment, but it's only a matter of time now for Brazil. Adriano is coming off. It's really a time-wasting tactic, and Argel, a defender, is coming on. It won't make a lot of difference unless Ghana can produce something exceptional. He doesn't mind coming off. Argel is a defender and coming on for his first taste of this final, and he can lock it up. And Brazil are only seconds away now from their 3rd triumph in this championship, thanks to that superb goal by Gian. And what have Ghana left now? Have they any time left? Gian, the goal scorer, is admonished by the referee. So just when we looked as if extra time was coming up, they strike. Can they get it into a 2-2 situation and give themselves another half an hour? No, they can't. It's all over. Brazil have won it. The champions of Australia 93, Brazil, with that last-second winner from Gian. The 18-year-old from the Vasco da Gama club with his third goal of the championship proves that Brazil had, in the end, the greater resolution, the greater breaks, but is so sad for Ghana, a quality side. Neither of these teams deserved to lose. It would have been painful had we had to go to penalties or sudden death, but that was sudden death of a different sort. And the protests from Lamptey, I think, are understandable. There was very little injury time left. Just a token gesture by the Turkish referee, but he's the boss, he's in charge, and the result is Brazil have won by 2-1. Well, it was always going to be a dramatic final, and the referee had quite a few interesting situations to control, but never any maliciousness. And in the end, an amazing finale as Brazil take this cup, and Sydney will be alive to the rhythm of the lambada and a few other South American dances tonight. 2-1 to Brazil in this final in the end. Came back manfully after Ghana had taken the lead early in the first half. They got a few shots in, but it was still in the balance. But we've got to give Brazil credit for their second half performance. They had a bit of fire, a bit of steel at the beginning of the second 45 minutes, and they pinched it in the last seconds. So cruel for a gallant and talented Ghana side, but what a turnaround for Brazil. The hero, Giancarlo, his full name, Giancarlo Dantas Diaz, the player who really was standing in for Amoroso, who couldn't join this group from Japan. And now, they won't even think of Amoroso. Gian will be the man of the moment. Two superb goals scored by Brazil. Marcelinho with one pass and Adriano from the other. But what a final. What a contest between two very talented sides. And a bitter blow for the Ghanaian side, the second youngest of the teams here in this championship, to concede it just when they were thinking of sudden death. That's exactly what happened. So now we await the presentations as Brazil do a lap of honor. We've got 4 football codes in Australia, and for the last 16, 17 days, the oldest football code has held centre stage, and how the country have taken to it. The green and gold of Australia was so successful to the smooth running of this championship here, but in the end, it's the green and yellow of Brazil, the green and blue as they are dressed here, who have the last joyous moments. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, Canberra. It finished here in Sydney, and it finished in the most dramatic way. So 1983, they won it by 1 goal. 1985 by 1 goal. But this, their third triumph, that will give them a trophy forever, was one that will certainly go into the history books. There was character as well as quality there. Overall, we were looking here for a target of 300,000 spectators in the 32 matches, but I think 125 countries who saw this tournament, saw this final, have seen that this level under 20 produces real quality, and here was how it was won by Brazil. The equalizer by Jan and then the match winner by Gian. Marcelino, again, the perfect timing, the run to keep onside, the wonderful strike by the 18-year-old. Even Asari couldn't get there. Well, there's going to be a few parties tonight in the city centre of Sydney. But first of all, there's going to be a few emotional moments here as the medals are distributed. I suppose the statistics will tell their own story, but whatever you think of possession and shots, and look at the high quantity of shots and saves, I think overall the judgment of this game will be that there was talent out there, they expressed it, and we enjoyed it. And it was Brazil that came out on top, and the FIFA Coca-Cola Cup is soon going to be theirs. It really, for some of us anyhow, will be a shame that this wonderful Sydney football stadium soon has to revert to the rugby league code.